the relative strength or weakness of companies' digital and virtualization strategy has been really kind of pushed to the fore the last couple of months. How do you see that playing out as the pandemic plays out? And which of these sort of trends will be something that becomes a part of the new normal?
Yeah, well, I would just say purely from an innovation standpoint, we know the big story is advancement in e-commerce, but very specifically contactless advancements like buying online and pick up in store, which has been given that really unfortunate acronym BOPUS. It's going to continue to boom in the U.S. There's no doubt about it, and especially again if we go back to your personas, those worried withholders, those cautious comebackers, right? You're going to continue to see adoption there because contactless experience, it's sticky because it's not only safe, it's just very convenient, right? I would say from an industry standpoint, as a result of COVID-19, I think you're going to see, remarkable acceleration of things like telemedicine, e-learning, e-grocery are total standouts. They've experienced very positive adoption across all demos and audiences. And I think the stat that's really fascinating to me is that they've seen a 50% plus net increase in new users. So, we talk about disruption, but that's more like eruption, right? That is absolutely explosive growth. So I'm particularly interested to understand how are pharma, healthcare, and wellness brands really going to adjust and address this. I also think it's important to note that social adoption is at absolute peak usage right now, which isn't surprising. So brands just really need to get dialed in if they're not already. And I'm empathetic. I recognize it's a challenge for brands to police all of its agencies and its internal teams who are distributing content, as well as all the channels where they're placing content. But I think now is the time to revisit messaging strategies by audience and by channel. I think it's a very wise exercise in this climate. And I say that because this morning in my Twitter feed, I saw an international airline, and it featured this photo of a flight post-boarding showing passengers filling every last seat. And it unleashed an absolute tweet storm of negative comments, even though I would say the airline may have taken all of the precautions required of it. So I think the point here is that, reputationally, it's not all about following regulations, right? It's also about delivering the brand's personal view on its responsibility to the consumer. And I think that's going to be really important moving forward.
We have created custom services to help companies and brands forecast the relevant role they will play with post-pandemic stakeholders. Used separately or as an integrated process, our services provide you with a reopening strategy, a custom brand positioning analysis, and a facilitated virtual workshop with our most senior discipline leaders to help you solve your most critical business and communication objectives.